Welcome to Reading the Bible with Pastor. Today we're on Genesis chapter 49, and we are getting to the end of Jacob's life, and so because of that, he wants to bless his 12 sons, and we'll read about that. Then Jacob called his sons and said, "Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you what shall happen to you in days to come. Assemble and listen, O sons of Jacob. Listen to Israel, your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, and the firstfruits of my strength, preeminent in dignity and preeminent in power, unstable as water. You shall not have preeminence, because you went up to your father's bed, then you defiled it. He went up to my couch." What is Israel talking about here? He's talking about Genesis chapter 35, verse 22. While Israel lived in the land, Reuben went up and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard of it. So Reuben lays with his father's concubine and thus defiles the bed and receives a punishment for that. He will no longer have preeminence. We'll continue with verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brothers. Weapons of violence are their swords. Let my soul come not into their counsel. O my glory, be not joined in their company. For in their anger they killed men, and in their willfulness they hamstrung oxen. Cursed be their anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel. Simeon and Levi are the brothers of Dinah, who is raped by Hamor, and later they plot to use circumcision, a blessing by God, to kill all the people of Hamor and Shechem. And so they become a stink to the nations, and put a bad name to Jacob. And here Jacob is saying, because you have done this, you will be given a curse of being scattered in Israel. In fact, Simeon will be absorbed into the tribe of Judah and be no more, and Levi is the tribe of priests, and they will be scattered all throughout the land of Canaan and have really no inheritance. Verse 8. Judah, your brothers shall praise you. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons shall bow down before you. Judah is a lion's cub. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as a lioness, who dares rouse him. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until tribute comes to him, and to him shall be the obedience of the people. Binding his foal to the vine, and his donkey's colt to the choice vine. He has washed his garments in wine, and his vesture in the blood of grapes. His eyes are darker than wine, and his teeth whiter than milk. So here we see that Judah is given the promise of kings, that their garments will be washed in wine, meaning they'll be purple, royalty. This is talking about Christ and also King David, as they will be the royalty. But ultimately, peace will come. Tying your donkey to vines wouldn't be a good idea because the donkey would eat the grapes. But this is a sign of peace, that there won't be any worry because Christ will bring peace to the world. Continue with verse 13. Zebulon shall dwell at the shores of the sea. He shall become a haven for ships, and his border shall be at Sidon. Issachar is a strong donkey, crouching between the sheepfolds. He saw that at a resting place was good, and that the land was pleasant, so he bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant at forced labor. Dan shall judge his people, as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent in the way, a viper by the path, that bites the horse's heels, so that his rider falls backward. I wait for your salvation, O Lord. Here, this is a prediction, a prophecy of Samson coming from the line of David, and becomes one of the great judges, and you can read about that in Judges chapter 13. We're at verse 19. Raiders shall raid Gad, but he shall raid at their heels. Gad will be a border tribe, and thus deal with people coming into the land fighting. Asher's food shall be rich, and he shall yield royal delicacies. Naphtali is a doe let loose, that bears beautiful fawns. Joseph is a fruitful bough by a spring. His branches run over the wall. The archers bitterly attack him, shot at him, and harassed him severely. Yet his bow remained unmoved, his arms were made agile by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob. From there is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. By the God of your father, who will help you, by the Almighty, who will bless you, with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that crouches beneath, blessings of the breast and of the womb. The blessings of your father are mighty beyond the blessings of my parents, up to the bounties of the everlasting hills. May they be on the head of Joseph, and on the brow of him who was set apart from his brothers. Joseph, remember, his inheritance goes to his 2 sons, which are taken as adopted as sons of Jacob. Ephraim will become a very mighty nation, warlike in tendencies, and we see that. But all this blessing comes from their stone of Israel, which is God. And then lastly, verse 27, Benjamin is a ravenous wolf, in the morning devouring the prey, and at evening dividing the spoil. So we see here the blessings given out to the 12 sons of Israel, and we'll see those fulfilled later on in the Bible. We'll pick up next time with Genesis chapter 49, starting at verse 28. As always, please subscribe, share this with others so that they may also read the Bible with Pastor.